Hello and welcome to today's version of F-tags, the federal F-tags that help everyone pass their surveys with flying colors. So we're referring to them as Friday's F-bombs. So let's take a look at this week's F-bomb, and we're going to concentrate on, ta-da, F-550. And this has to do with residents' rights. The right to say no. This is part of the series for F-bombs for nutrition services, 483.60, which is the CMS regulation number. And once again, today we're going to start off with the general F-550 tag for resident rights. That is what drives your care communities, making it more of a home-like atmosphere, having the residents being able to say no to things. So let's take a quick overview. So this is a pretty busy document. Yes, it is. So this is the official document from August of 2020, where CMS, in their ultimate wisdom, gave us the federal regulatory groups for long-term care. Anything you can see in red here has to do with substandard quality of care. So that means that you've had a deficiency with the scope and severity levels. So last week we talked about that Rubik's Cube, where the lower level ABC tags up to the top level, J, K, and L, were what we call the bottom of the cube, the top of the cube. Remember, it went up in intensity. So the lower level were lesser tags, and up to the top was the higher tags. So the substandard tags start with an F, H, I, J, K, or L. And these are outlined in red. And this first section here, that's the one we're going to concentrate on. And that comes under resident rights. And 550 is the one that kicks it off. So to better tell you a story about residents' rights, I'm going to give you a good example based off of my own personal family. So after today's vlog, I want you to go back into the website and click on the video link that I'm going to send. I'm going to preface that video with some information today. So we're going to do something a little bit different, and the fact that I think you learn better by hearing a story. So this is the story of my grandfather and his birthday, his 102-year-old birthday party. The family got together and we were trying to decide what to get Gramps, because Gramps had lived at home till he was in his late 90s, moved to assisted living, and then unfortunately for his 100th birthday moved into the full side of the facility known as full nursing cares. And so when he turned 102, we decided we needed to find something fun to get Gramps, because he was with his full faculties. He watched, he had satellite TV. We had bought him a big screen. He referred to it as sound surround. Everybody came down to Gramps' room. He was an avid Cornhusker fan. Yes, I am from Nebraska. So he would watch all day long sports events, and people would come with him. And for 90 some years of his life, he would sit down every night before he went to bed with an old-fashioned popcorn popper with the oil, the movie oil, and the popcorn that a lot of farmers would give to him that was homegrown, and he would have a bowl of popcorn and a Dr. Pepper, and he would end up his evening that way. So when he went to the care facility, when he was in the AL, it wasn't a problem. When he went over to the nursing side, he got popcorn intermittently. There were volunteers, and it's a small community, so there were people that would pop up in the evenings to watch a baseball game with Grandpa, and they would bring popcorn. So we got him a box of Cracker Jacks because we were thinking, let's get him a whole case. He can keep it in his closet along with his case of Dr. Pepper, and he could go get it himself when he wanted to have his Cracker Jacks. So he thought it was the greatest thing to get a case of Cracker Jacks. He was so excited. So here's where the resident rights comes in. He called us a couple weeks later after his birthday, and he was all upset because he had had a CNA come into his room, and like she had done many evenings, she came in to check on him, and she'd sit and watch the ball game with him. And he said, "Hey kid, I got Cracker Jacks. You want a box of Cracker Jacks? They're up in the closet. Go ahead and grab you one, and then grab me one." So she pulls out the case of Cracker Jacks, and she says, "Leland, you can't eat these. They're expired. You'll get sick. They're bad." So my grandfather said, "Well, give me the case. Let me take a look at this. They're not bad. The kids just gave them to me. I know they're good." So the confusion was, and those of us that are in the nutrition world, we understand best if used by or before. And that indicates that the product will be of best flavor quality, but it is not purchase or safety date. So when there's a best buy date on the outside cardboard of the case that holds all the individual boxes, that's just telling you that, if you purchase it before that date, it's at its freshest. Well, the nurse's aide said, "No, Leland, that's an expiration date. They're bad." And so he proceeded to pull out the individual boxes and show her that he had a year to eat the individual boxes. So the dates were different, but she still went ahead and took them with her and threw them out. And my grandfather was upset. And, it was his right to hang on to that and research it further or have them take a look at it. But without asking, she just went ahead and took it and threw it away. So that's one of the things we have to concentrate on, is doing better with speaking with our residents, saying, "Well, let me look into it," or let's, maybe not, but let's not just say no. Let's just not take things from them. Let's go ahead and honor their rights and their preferences. In the food world, we do that a lot. We try our best to get them the food items that they like to eat. But once again, it all comes down to, are you listening to your residents? Are you hearing what they're saying? My grandfather was a very smart man, and he lived to a very ripe old age. And he talked about those Cracker Jacks being thrown away for some time. Well, being a family of doers, we went ahead and bless Amazon.com because we ordered another case and had it delivered. So he only went a couple days without his Cracker Jacks. But after that, he wouldn't let anybody get them out of the closet. They were his, and he would get them himself. So I'm honoring my grandfather, who unfortunately passed away at 103 years, on 103 years, 5 months, and 5 days. He passed away in November of 2019. But once again, he went out his way. He had his choices, and he made them up to the end. And that's the important thing. So when you're looking at the video that I'm going to share with you, it is about the residents have the right to say no in all levels of their care, including food and nutrition services. So pay attention, talk to them, work with them. I know we have to make sure that they're not putting themselves at risk. If they say no to a pureed diet, then maybe we need to look at comfort cares or hospice or work with them. But don't just shut it down. Listen to them, work with them, find a solution that still gives them their rights and their rights to say no. So I hope you enjoy the video, and join me again for F Blogs next Friday. Have a safe one, and be sure and take care of yourself.